So we've made a few videos about the new NISA, but I'm still getting questions about it almost every day. So here is a very quick FAQ about the new NISA. So here are some quick answers to the most common questions I'm getting about the new NISA. First up, what is NISA? Well, NISA is a special kind of investment account that is tax exempt. So you don't have to pay taxes on anything that you buy in a NISA account. The Japanese government made this in order to encourage people in Japan to invest their money rather than keeping it in the bank. And it's been fantastic for small individual investors. So why should you care? Well, it's basically taxes. So in a NISA account, you don't have to pay tax on capital gains. That's when you buy a stock or an ETF or a mutual fund, and the price goes up. When you sell it, normally you would have to pay 20.315% tax on that capital gain. In a NISA account, there's no tax to pay. And the same with dividends. So some shares, some stocks pay dividends. So they pay out some money to their shareholders. And in a NISA account, you wouldn't have to pay tax on the dividends. On a normal taxable account, you would pay the 20.315% tax on dividends as well as capital gains. So, where should you open your NISA account? You've probably seen signs everywhere about the new NISA. I've seen them in the post office, in my local bank, in other banks, online. Generally, we recommend using an online broker like Rakuten Securities or SBI Securities or Monex Securities. They're all very similar in terms of fees and in terms of the kind of investments you can buy. But I know some people find it much easier to deal with their bank, and that's okay. I mean, it's probably not as good as a broker. You might pay a slightly higher fee, you might have a slightly narrower range of investments, but it's better to invest with your bank than not to invest at all. So if you're a bit intimidated, if you're going to struggle with the online application, setting up the accounts and all that kind of thing, then going through your bank is okay. It's perfectly fine. And it's a decent option if you're not going to be able to do it through an online broker. So, how does NISA work? Well, basically, when you buy an investment, whether that's a mutual fund or a stock or an ETF, you have to designate it as being purchased within your NISA account. So you can't move investments into NISA. You can only buy them within the NISA account. And normally, when you buy it, you'll have the sales page and you'll have an option to choose whether you want to buy the investment in your taxable account, in your NISA account. And we're going to go into this in a minute, but there's two sections of the NISA account, which are growth and sumitate. And basically, what's happened here is that we used to have two types of NISA. We used to have the Tsumitate NISA, which was 400,000 yen a year, tax free for 20 years. And we had the ordinary NISA, which was 1.2 million yen a year, tax free for 5 years. And when they made the new NISA, for some reason that I don't understand, the government has basically smushed these two accounts together. And now you have one NISA account. You can't choose anymore. You get both. And I don't know why they did this because it makes it confusing, and there's no real need for it. So I don't quite understand why this happened. But we have these two sections of NISA. So you have one NISA account with a growth portion and a Tsumitate portion. And as you can see, this is the annual allowance for each. So you can have 1.2 million in the Tsumitate portion, and you can have 2.4 million in the growth portion. And this is per year. So this is a huge expansion of what we used to be able to pay in. They've basically tripled it. And that is really, really fantastic. It's basically everything that we wanted from NISA going forwards. I think most people are going to struggle to fill this, and that's fine. There's no need to fill it. You can put in as much as you can, and you'll build up your NISA allocations over time. So here's what you can buy in each type of account. So the Tsumitate portion is restricted to mutual funds only. And there's a list of approved mutual funds. There's about 400 that are approved, and you can only buy those funds in the Tsumitate portion. In the growth portion, you can buy mutual funds, you can buy stocks, you can buy ETFs. There are some restrictions, like they won't allow you to buy certain, like, for example, leveraged funds and so on. But pretty much you can buy whatever you want in the growth portion. The tsumitate portion, you have to set up a monthly order of up to 100,000 yen a month to buy mutual funds, one or more mutual funds, up to the maximum amount of 100,000 yen. And there is a way to use a bonus to top it up if you don't use your monthly allocation each month. But the easiest way to do it is just to set your monthly allocation to what you want it to be and have that go in, month out. For the growth portion, you can use spot orders, so you can do one-off purchases, or you can set up a regular order in the same way if you want to buy a mutual fund. So you could set up 100,000 yen into the tsumitate portion as a regular monthly order, and you could do the same into the growth portion, up to 200,000 yen a month, going in every month. And that would be the really hands-off way to handle this. Now, quick requests. I've been going over the YouTube data and I've noticed that only about 30% of the people who watch these videos are actually subscribed to the channel. And it would be really helpful if more of you clicked that subscribe button now. Thank you very much. So there is a contribution limit to NISA, although it's gone up by a lot. So it looks something like this. So the tsumitate portion, you can put in up to 1.2 million yen per year, and you have a 6 million yen lifetime allowance. For the growth portion, you can put in up to 2.4 million yen a year, and you have a 12 million yen lifetime allowance. Basically, this means that if you put in the maximum amount into NISA, you will use up your lifetime allowance in 5 years. So you have 5 years of contributing to NISA, at which point you will have invested 18 million yen, and that 18 million yen can grow as large as it wants to, and it will remain tax-free until you sell it. So when you sell it, there will be no tax to pay. There's no tax-free limit on NISA anymore. So there used to be a 5-year limit or a 20-year limit. Now there's no limit. So if you fill your NISA account and you just leave it to grow in the background, later on when you need it, you can just sell as much as you like and it's tax-free. It won't reflect your income. It won't increase your income. You won't increase your health insurance payments. You won't increase your local inhabitants tax payments. This really is one of the best ways to get ready for retirement. So what about legacy NISA? So a lot of people have NISA accounts from before. What happens to those? What do you need to do? Well, the short answer is don't do anything, just leave it. Your NISA investments will remain tax-free until the end of that initial period that was decided. So if it was a regular NISA, it would be 5 years, including the year you bought it. And at the end of that time, the investments would move into your taxable account. For tsumitate NISA, same thing, except it was 20 years. So basically, don't do anything with those investments. Just leave them in the legacy NISA. And when they move into your taxable account, you can sell them and put the money into the new NISA if you need to, or you can just leave them in your taxable account. And only the gains that happen after they come out of NISA would be taxed. And the last thing is junior NISA. So junior NISA ended last year. So at the end of December, that was the end of junior NISA. What's going to happen to any investments in junior NISA is you can leave them in there and they will be tax-free until the child reaches the age of 18, at which point they get control of the account. And I would recommend trying to brainwash your child so that they don't then spend the money, but rather they sell it, use it maybe for education, use it for university fees, or open a normal new NISA account and put all the money in there. And the amount of growth that they should get tax-free for the rest of their life until they reach retirement could be pretty astounding. So that's what I'm going to try and do with my grandkids, get them to leave their junior NISA money there, put it in an ordinary NISA account and just let it grow over decades. All right, what have I missed in this video? What other questions do you have about NISA? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer or maybe make another video if necessary. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.